favorite person in between. How are you doing? I am super excited to be with you again. This time though, it's going to be a little bit different because I don't really have tea on what your favorite celebs are out here doing. We're going to have a sensitive but very necessary conversation. Now, for the longest time, we have been talking about sexual harassment and the fact that a lot of the reported cases come from ladies, which is great. We want people to be able to speak up, get help, and get all the healing that they need. But in the midst of all that, turns out there's a whole generation of men who are dying in silence. Men are being abused too, men are getting raped as well, men are sexually harassed, but maybe the society is not very kind to seeing men really weak and express this side of them. They choose to stay in silence, and this has serious issues, more so mental issues later on in life. And if you're gonna try and heal the world, we might as well help both the girl and the boy. On my set today is a man bold enough to speak about his story. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Good to be here too.
You have good vibes. I'm so excited.
That's me.
That's who you are naturally?
Actually.
So introduce yourself to a lovely audience back at home.
Okay, thank you. I am Gilbert Wema. Okay, I'm a Kenyan citizen. And I reside from here, Nairobi, but I was born from the western part of Kenya.
Which side of Western Kenya?
That's Kamega, Huisero sub-county.
Huisero?
Yeah.
Mrembe?
Maybe you know.
Mrembe was? Mrembe Khanti?
Actually, yeah, from those sides.
Ah,
Yeah.
I know a bit of western side. I know a place called Humsalaba.
That's exactly where I come from.
Exactly. Things. Right, and you have such a beautiful name, Wema.
Yeah.
Right? Your parents were so bougie. Watu walikuwa wanaitwa tu Majimo, Michael. Your parents went all the way to Wema.
I think that I owe it to my mother. She actually was a dad and a mother, so I don't know why she thought to call me Wema.
When you Wema wake, ulimletea Wema maisha?
Kuna uwezekano.
No, si kuna uwezekano, that's just it.
Actually,
that's fact.
yeah.
Alright. How old are you, Wema?
Very soon I'll be turning 24.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, I'm 23, so I'll be turning 24.
And what do you do now?
I would say nothing, maybe. Yeah.
But what do you aspire to do?
I want to become a counselor, maybe. Actually, I want to go to school and study. According to my story, maybe I'll take it later. But it has taken my attention somewhere else. I want to study counseling psychology and see to it that maybe there's someone boy child can talk to when they have some problem. You know, in this field, you'll always find ladies. If you've checked,
most of the therapists,
most of the person who can listen to you, and they are always ladies.
Okay.
So you find there are many issues that we cannot discuss with ladies. So I want to fill that gap. May God willing. But currently I'm doing nothing. I'm just surviving through with hassles here and there. Yeah.
All right. So your life experience, which is something that we're about to talk to, has shifted your mind to want so hard to give a space for the boy to talk because
Surely,
you feel
yes.
so far there's a gap.
I've actually gone through rounds after this thing happened to me. Initially, I actually wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to go to school and study English literature. But then, when this thing happened, I've gone through rounds. There's no one to talk to. So I realized if there were men in this field that you can get to, tell them, this thing happened to me now, where do I get to? Maybe I will not have gone through the much I've gone through. So I want to fill that gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
We bless your journey and hope that it will happen that way.
Actually, I hope to.
Alright. Now we're going to dive right into the hard conversation. I mean, there's been a lot of rape cases. There's been a lot of people reporting how they have been sexually harassed by people close to them. Some of them their fathers, their brothers, teachers, uncles, strangers, boyfriends. And if you check most of the reported cases, mostly it's females.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And we see to it that they get the proper counseling and the help that they need. But there's a generation of men as well who are going through similar issues in silence, and you have been there before. Kindly take us back to what really happened to you and when it happened.
Okay. It's a sad story. happened last year.
When you're
That's-
22.
That when I was 23. That,
Oh yeah, because you're 22.
Actually, I had just turned 23. My birthday is on September, the 3rd of September. So I had just turned 23, and last year was a bit, the other year, that would be 29, was a bit hard year for me. I lost my mother on my birthday.
Oh no.
Now the following year, I'm celebrating two things at the same time. I lost my mother on the 3rd of September. Now the following year, around the 4th of September, is when this thing happened. So this guy, we had not known each other. When I lost my mother, who was now the only parent, I had to, actually I've stayed in Mombasa most of my life with my mother. So I had to come now to Nairobi to start new life in Nairobi. Kuona vile naeza jieka kama mwanaume. Yeah, and I was staying with my aunt. You know, I was a grown up. She wouldn't want, she would always tell me, sasa mimi sitalisha mwanaume. So I would get out and hustle. And mind you, I'm not familiar with Nairobi. And I'm staying in a ghetto, Mathare. So that particular morning I had gone to Eastleigh, tried to walk around, after vibarua, in vain. Then I said I will not go back to the house. She'll call me. Sasa wewe, what kind of a man are you? Unazunguka tu unarudi. So I decided to rest on a certain field, pale Mdaiga. There, I will say I was already into depression. Because I just went and sat at a particular place, relaxed. Okay, that would have been around 10. Before I realized it was 3 in the evening, it is this guy who made me know it's 3 and I've seated at the same place for this long. Then he was like, hey bro, niaje poa. Nimepita nikienda town nikakuacha hapa. Nimerudi, saa jioni umekaa tu, then tu ulikuwa something troubling you. Then I was like, no, I'm okay. Ambia hapana, and sometimes this part makes me laugh because he was like, no, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Mimi ni mtumishi wa Mwenyezi Mungu na naona ni kama kuna kitu kinakusumbua. And you know, when we hear about God, you know, God's nobody, you can't play with God. And now I knew, maybe I have been praying here the whole day and God has just answered my prayer. As he continued quoting verses for me, I gave in. I narrated my story to him. I told him, yeah, as you see me, it's me, I'm my family. I'm here because I'm afraid of going back to my aunt's house. I have not secured a job. So I'm waiting. Yeah, a job me don't time sneak into the house. Then he told me, you see, you've not communicated and you see it is timely. God has just sent me. Yeah, we have a job vacancy at the church. And let's go. Any other person would follow him. So I followed him to the church. It's a good church, it's a headquarter. It's a church that has a following. Tukaingia, he showed me around, akaniambia sasa wewe tukikuajiri utakuwa ukitupanguzia huku, it's a story building. Akanipeleka mpaka juu, akanionyesha maofisi. Then I thank God. I was just singing praises in my heart and telling God, wow. Little did I know it's a trap. So when we reached his house, just there in the church, he told me, he is not the appointing authority. The bishop is not in the church. Unfortunately, he had not known. So let us just exchange digits, let me have some lunch, and he will keep in touch. That's exactly what we did. Ilikuwa imefika jioni, my aunt does night shift things, so I was comfortable to go back to her place. We kept in touch. Okay, he would call me, hey, book come. He gives me lunch. Okay, now that he had known my story, now he's helping me. You know, on my side, najua ananisaidia. This particular Saturday, he calls me at around 6. Then he tells me, kuja, bishop anarudi na nataka kuwa mtu wa kwanza kumuona. I told my cousin, hey, waweza mwana niita huku bishop anakom. Manze zimeingiana. Na mimi nashukuru kwa God sana. I just thank God. At last bishop anakama and I'm going to get a job. Tukakaa, cousin yangu akaniambia, wewe basi, okay, my cousins, I think he has been with me for, he has stood by me. Anambia, wewe sasa change to find, let's make glass up, alafu uende, alafu ukifika huko mkimalizana, juu itakuwa late, wewe unibip mimi nitakukujia. So my cousin actually extorted me mpaka pale kwa church. Akaniacha mimi nikicross nikienda kwa huyo jamaa, he was waiting at the gate. My cousin went back, the distance is not long. Tukaingia church. Tukaenda kwake, Then he told me, just relax. He was very free. I found some people there. You couldn't think of anything. Not at least of it.
So there were other guys inside the house?
Yes, I found other guys inside the house. They greeted me, we greeted each other. Then he was like, this is Wema. He has been in Mombasa for so long. He's my new friend. He will be joining us soon. And I knew hapa kimeingia. So he asked me to prepare eggs for supper while we wait for the bishop. I told him I'm not good in cooking, but he insisted. And said, tell me something. While I was making the eggs, mtoto wa bishop akaingia. Me, I thought it's the bishop. Huyo mtu wa bishop akaingia. He was a gentleman, came, said hi. Hi. Then this pastor explains to him who you tunataka, and then he says okay. Now you can't even, you know it's a troopers. Sasa nikungoja tu bishop niambiwe nyumba yako ndo hii, wewe utakuwa ukifagia hapa na pale. When I'm preparing eggs, he suggests that these other guys prepare ugali from another room, so that it will be due to time, so that when the bishop comes, we have all had supper. Supper natengeneza mayai, then wale wanakatia ugali kidogo wanaleta na yana pakwa mayai na wapelekea kule. They eat from the other side. Wakati ugali inakuja, he says he's not going to take ugali for supper. He has had a heavy lunch. What he'll do, he'll have some fruits. He pulls his fridge and takes some bananas. I even don't mind to eat. You see, sasa mimi nikuja kali misijaga. I take my supper. The only thing I remember is waking up and finding a man on me. Exactly. Around morning. Yes, I had a very sharp ache at the back. Very sharp. You know, I'm sleeping. Okay, I think he put something in that food.
Oh, that's your assumption. He probably...
I literally assumed so. Because...
Do you remember blacking out? Do you remember...
I only remember starting to eat ugali.
Okay.
That's all I remember. Then I'm waking up on his bed, naked. He's on me. A very sharp ache at the back.
When you say on you, is he... I'm trying to get the visual picture. Don't be scared.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it all over.
Okay.
He's actually sodomizing me.
Okay.
So I shout and I'll be like, Nini unanifanyia? And then he says, don't shout. You are the stranger here. You dare shout, I'll shout there is a thief in this house. Wait. I'm trying, bana mbona umenifanyia hivi? What is this? I'm saying. And he's like, I said, don't shout. Then I storm out of the house and ananiambia, don't use the main gate. Tumia hii gate door. Ndo ngoja hapo nikufungulie. He's so up. Then I'm afraid. You know, I'm bleeding already. I'm just like, man, go. He opens the gate for me. He's getting to me. I walk out.
Did you get him to dress up?
Yes, okay, I left them okay, just put on my trouser and my t-shirt, vest and the miniature. Then naenda nabisha kwa auntie yangu that late. My cousin opens the door. That late. Naingia, I used to sleep on a chair. I take some white sheets. Okay, auntie yangu alikuwa na hizi vitambaa za kiti za white. So mimi nalalia. That's where another misfortune comes in. She doesn't want me in the house because I don't have a job, right? So I have to sleep wakati yeye kwa job. In the morning kabla kuja mimi nisha sleep. You get that picture? Now you're sleeping on the chair, bleeding. You're not sure, you don't know you're bleeding. Ushachafua vitambaa za yenyewe with blood. So I wake up at 5. Hey, I'm bled. Okay, I thought nimejikojolea. Hakuangalia ni damu. Yeye nikamwapa naacha nizioshe, nizioshe nizifiche. Okay, nizioshe alafu nizianike huko kuzificha, itaporudi nizirudishe. Nakuta. Sasa in that process my aunt found me. I wouldn't want to say she chased me away, but I can't find a better word for it.
So she asked you to leave the house?
She actually, yeah. Now you're sick. Something has happened to you that you have never thought of. From someone you have put your trust in. Your host tells you, go away. You don't have a mother to call and tell mom this happened. You don't have a dad you can tell dad this happened. You don't have a brother you can tell this happened.
It's just a child?
No, it's another story. But you don't have anybody you can call and tell. The only person I'm close to is my sister. You see, telling a lady someone sodomized me, check guy. So I ended up in the streets. I stayed in the streets for some 2 weeks. Niko tu, but that pain. You see, depression is real. And after a short while, a friend of mine realized, no, this guy is not well. I was not talking. You know, I'm a very talkative person. Before then, I was a very jovial person. Nowadays, life has changed me. But he realized, no, huyu wema haongei, hayuko sawa. Then he comes to me and tells me, there's a problem. I tell him, there isn't. There isn't. I'm just having some headaches. Then he tells me, maybe it is depression. Because, okay, I lost my mother. And shortly thereafter, I lost my grandmother, who had now, coming back. So he knew I was into depression, and I accepted, yeah. And I went to Madari Hospital. That was my first hospital. He actually took me there. I explained to the doctor, but still feared to tell the doctor I don't have problems going to the toilet. I still feared to tell the doctor. I just told him, it was her actually. Mimi niko naumwa na kichwa nasikia hivi. So I was referred to a psychiatrist. Baada ya kupimwa kichwa na hizo mashine zao, na this one was almost running mad. Okay. So I was put on medication. Yeah, akili. I'm still on medication actually. Going that way, this guy still saw my walking was not well. Wewe unatembeaje wewe? Then when I want to sit, you see, like I'm standing and I want to sit, I had to go for near 5 minutes then reach down to sit. Then he realized. And now he forced me and told me, when you'll speak it, there is something disturbing you. Ulidungwa kisu? No, I was staying on the street. No. What if I trusted you with my information? Then he told me, bet on my life. Then I opened up and told him, but he was mad. He was actually mad. He said, no. And he couldn't have kept quiet. You're supposed to have reported. And like I told him, no. Don't. Leave it there. You see, the guilt, no, man. You know, I have a girlfriend.
Oh, currently?
Then, okay, I'm a father.
Oh, you are?
By then, my girlfriend had just given birth. So you see, I don't want them to hear this thing.
Okay. Oh, you're a daddy.
Yes, I'm a dad of my mother.
How old is your...
She'll be turning a year.
Oh, wow.
June, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I didn't want her to hear this story. Not even bit of literacy. I didn't want anybody to know, I'm a man. Would I be a woman? I'll shout all over, I've been raped. And that's what Kenya advocates for.
That is the problem. I'm a man.
It is really, really a big problem in this country. And maybe in the world at large. I've really read much and deep about gender when this thing happened to me. And statistics show 90% of men die in depression when they go through what they went through.
The highest number of people who commit suicide as well is men.
And you never know why. We shall always say because the wife, because the mother. But maybe look at it. Your uncle sodomizes you. You can't even stand and talk. You would be joked. Like by the way, like now I'm an outcast from my. Okay, it's a long story. I'm an outcast. So you see, and it was not a person close to me. So imagining it was my uncle, I would have been an outcast long time ago. So it's a problem in this country.
Yeah.
And now, do you know what my friend does? My friend tells me, liwe one, twende pale kanisani, wakutibu. Bro, nimesema twende wema. Niamini mimi twende. Okay, you see, I was in great pains. I had started discharging blood, blood clots. Actually, even when I urinated, I had started urinating blood. So I knew I was dying. I knew I was going. And the only option here was, okay, 20. We went. Because I was sure he had done it to me. You see, you are that confident. Okay, we'll be fine. My friend, when I'm arriving at the gates of the church, a certain man, a very short man, just as short as I am, Actually, I was asking mzee wa kanisa, whom I knew because I had gone there severally, Pastor fulani yako wapi? Then while still asking, nilitwangwa mbao ya huko. If you look at my face, ndio inarudi form. I was a very handsome boy.
Oh, aren't you still?
Not really. You see, I was really beaten. I hit my head on the pillar of the church, and it deconstructed my face a bit. I fainted, and really received a good beating. And this guy was surprised. Kwani tumekuja vita. When I came back to my senses, some people had come.
Did they beat your friend as well?
Not really. Nikakuwa nimefanyia first aid. So we are sitting on a table. Mzee wa kanisa ndo huyu, mama kanisa ndo huyu, a certain pastor and people. Why are you beating this boy? Amekuja tu hata si anakujanga hapa. Then the boy who beat me, I later learned was the brother to my perpetrator, had received wrong information from the perpetrator about me. Actually, the perpetrator knew one day I would come.
Of course.
That's what he told us at the meeting. So he told the boy, the brother now, him and Wema had been working at UNICEF, and they plotted to kill the boss at UNICEF, and Wema is blackmailing him because he recorded the video of him putting poison in the food of the boss. So when we are sitting and I was asking him, my ID is only 1 month old. Actually, that's when I had taken my ID. When did I work at UNICEF? He tell us. So at the sitting, mzee wa kanisa, mama kanisa, pastor, just the leadership of the church, we are seated. I'm afraid to open up. I'm afraid to say what brought me because I thought it would be in good faith. I'm now being beaten again. Okay, I actually again went to hospital for the same. They forced me. They said, "Sema chenye kimekuleta." And then I said, "This guy sodomized me," and I explained the whole scenario. And mzee wa kanisa said, "Oh, okay. I remember hearing ile gate ndogo ikifunguka. Oh, young man, you suffered in this church, yeah. Did you do it? No. Did you do it? We are going to support this boy to go to the police because this is a church. You can't do this thing in church." Then this man confidently says, "Ni shetani aliniingia. Nilifanya hivyo, lakini asinishtaki, nitafanya nini? Nitamtibu." That was all I wanted. Then I said, "It's okay." Then the brother actually knelt down and told me, "But Wema, nimekupiga, but I received wrong information from my brother. Pole sana. I'm even sorry and shocked it can happen from my own brother and to a young person like you, and he knows your story. We are sorry, we're going to stand with you." I didn't see any need of now going to report, you see. And the boys escorted me to hospital for the beatings. I was dressed into bandages. Actually, I also had to do some scanning. Niliumia kichwa kidogo. Nowadays, by then, I lose memory over time because of this.
Even now?
It's now coming up. Now that I'm on medication, kidogo, nakuwa sawa. I could place something here and start looking for it in the house. Actually, ninaacha simu tochi na kutafuta simu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm healing. So we have an agreement with the church leadership. Usijaribu jina ya kanisa na usishtaki, kushughulikia upone.
Are you comfortable doing that, or do you feel you've been coerced to do that because you have a reputation for a church to maintain at the expense of yourself and the life of other young boys? Because like you said, that day when you was making eggs, there was another bunch of boys making ugali.
So it's I think I looked at myself as well and said I lack a support system. If I say I want to pursue this matter, it will be nonsense. So let me accept being treated and moving on with life. But here comes the real story. I go 2 weeks down the line, I come back to the church. Sasa mimi naendelea kuumia, naendelea kubleed, mnanisaidia aje? Then there's no response, there's no nothing. This friend of mine tells me, "No, Gilbert, you fear talking about it, but you'll have to go and report." I say, "No, I cannot." While being treated at Mathare Hospital, this is when it began. While being treated at Mathare Hospital, I developed friendship with these people. So there's this probation officer at Mathare who heard my story from me, the doctor, and was really interested. She was really very supportive. So she called me into her office. We made stories. Now while I was seated, kumbe damu ilienda kwa kiti chake. Sasa mimi nasimama nataka kwenda nyumbani. She notices this blood on the chair. Then the way I'm walking, then she calls me back, closes the door, and says, Wema, you speak. What's troubling you? Madam, I'm okay. Now down. Wema, you speak. In fact, let me call for other people. And then she goes and calls in another lady and says, we are your mothers. We are your mothers. Speak up. Then I tell them, actually, I'm dying. Was it? I tell them the story. They were surprised. I was put on immediate medical attention at Mathare. That's where I was treated first. Then it was not able. I had been late. I was referred to Kenyatta. While at Kenyatta, the treatment began, but along the way, I personally left the hospital. The questions, sasa alikufanya aje, kulikuwa aje, they were irritating, so I just walked out. I signed against medical advice of the doctor. And walked away and footed all the way to Mathare from Kenyatta. Sick, but footed. Then I went to, the doctors at Mathare apologized and told me, wow, but Kenyatta wanakuanga hivyo. So I went to MSF. That's where I took my medication. The PRC form was filled.
So your issue with Kenyatta, I'm trying to understand, is the way they were handling the situation.
The way they were handling it, and they now want me to explain how long his dick was.
Oh.
Things I don't know. They want me to explain how deep he went into me. Yeah, they want me to explain if he ejaculated or not.
Oh, no.
You see, those are things I was unconscious and can't know.
Mm.
So I told them, Mimi is maswala, I'm not answering. I would rather go. Then they said, come away on that when I end. I signed again everything. And then I read it and saw it's not bad. I signed. Then walked out.
Mm.
When I went, at Mathare, they know I'm very sick. So they came back for me and took me at MSF. Doctors at MSF did a good job on me. I was admitted there and was treated for some 2 weeks. I had actually contracted hepatitis something, hepatitis B. These sicknesses, yes, I had contracted that. I had also contracted gonorrhea. They treated me. I was discharged.
Now, and during this period of treatment, is the church still helping financially?
The church has not even helped. It was just a word. So I go back. Okay, while at Kenyatta, at Mathare, at MSF, I mean, now you are being discharged with nowhere to go back to.
Yeah.
And you're being discharged. I think that's when I met Shopco. They came in very timely, I should say. I actually could not get this thing. Maybe it's just by God's grace. Then they came in. I was directed to the agenda office. I explained the story to them. They have been supportive. They were supportive. I started a life, though low, but at least I could stay the day knowing I have somewhere to go and put my head easy. But now I could not do up to date. It's hard. Okay, I'm becoming a man again, but it was hard to do any job. You see, and after a short while I saw, okay, it went this way. After being treated at Mathare, wakani advice niende niripoti sasa. Nikaenda kuripoti Muthaiga. When I went to Muthaiga, I was told my perpetrator is not from within the jurisdiction of Muthaiga, so I should go and report at Pangani. Another bad story. I went to Pangani to report. Now that I had been referred from Muthaiga, and the OCS at Muthaiga had called the OCS at Pangani, so I just have to come and walk to the office of the OCS. I don't have to go at the report desk, and there are sensitive information you can't even want to share at the report desk. And I'm feeling very bad for the boy child. The officers will always think ukona makosa. They don't think any boy child can complain. They don't think tunaweza kosewa. See, when I entered that situation, when kijana unataka nini I want the OCS, unatakia nini OCS? But it's very confidential. Allow me to say, okay, I was allowed. But tukirushiana na huyo afisa ako kwa desk, the deputy OCS walked in and said, oh, when ndio umetuma kutoka Muthaiga? Tuingia kwa OCS. They told me narrate your story. I tried to narrate.
They were having similar questions. Alikufanyaje? Aje tu, you know. Alikushikaje? Na wewe unaendaje kukula kwa nyumba yenye unajua tu huyu mtu amjajiwana? Then I felt. Then they told me they cannot record that case into the OB because I had taken some 2 weeks or something to report. So hiyo muda evidence has elapsed. Your case does not have evidence, so we cannot record it. I don't know who reported back that case at Pangani. Sijuangi ni which of these doctors, but I only remember the OCS calling me when I was admitted. I had actually to be readmitted at MSF. He called me. Pole kijana, nilikuhandle vibaya, kuja sasa mimi mwenyewe nitakuweka kwa I'll book you into the OB, the current book. When I was discharged, I went and the booking was done. Then the circles began. Utaenda Nairobi area, utafute pitiria hiyo ya huyo mwenye alikupiga. Tuwezi shika mtu mmoja tuache mwingine. That guy was just in the village. Then when I had reported and he traced to know where I was staying, problems began. He attacked me 4 times at my place, beating me. In the morning I go report. There's a time he attacked me and I had to call shop officers. Then they came and found that I'm even helpless. They rushed me to Nairobi Women's Hospital. You come and report at Pangani. Now I have even 5 of these from Pangani. But when you come, the OCS just takes you through rounds. The officer investigating this case tells you, tuwezi shika mtu mmoja, tunataka tumshike na ndugu ya pisi. Hey, okay, you're sick. You're supposed to be going out to look for food for your upkeep, and you still have to come to the police station like if you're a police officer reporting daily there. So, and I was really into trauma, into depression. I became suicidal. I tried to kill myself actually.
What did you do?
3 times I took poison. I tried hanging myself, and these people have just been, okay, it was not my time. There's a time the shop officers walked into my house just to check on man found naenda. I actually reached a point in life where you don't want to live. You don't even want to see people. Because there's no one you can talk to. You don't know when this guy will come to your house. There's a time he came with the 20,000 and wanted to give me the 20,000 and take my medical papers and the OB, so that this case does what? Yes. Then I told him, okay, I knew he was tricking. You see, you want this 20,000 because that night he's coming, you're sleeping hungry. But you don't know. He will go and say, huyo jamaa tulikuwa tumeelewana, unaona hata nilimlipa hiyo same. So you just tell him, no, sorry, I'm okay. And you remain praying. I'm a believer, by the way. So you remain steadfast in prayer, knowing that Mungu atakuweka mahali pake. Yeah, and I refused that 20,000. Next time he comes with people. I was washing around 8. Then my friend, ile kofi unakula unamwatoa karatasi zako za hospitali. Barua ile yosiyesu unadhani utaizana na mimi and the likes then. So I had to, and unfortunately this one I must put it. In this country, I realize there's no safe house for men. There isn't. If there is, then it's not known. Look at this. I am a survivor. I'm being attacked by the perpetrator. The police started attacking me at my place. It is a very big case, by the way. The police started attacking me at my place because I now went further step. Actually, nilianza kukaa kama nitapata justice at the vigilant house.
Now, as we speak, and very much aware of the fact that the perpetrator and you're pretty much not safe. They can ambush you anytime.
Actually.
So, with the help of SHOFCO, which is the organization that has really come through to help you, and the people close to you, what are some of the measures that you're putting in place to make sure, even when you're not anywhere where SHOFCO is, at least you have some sort of safety, because you just never know how the next attack might look like. So we don't want to underlook the fact and assume they'll just come and slap you and threaten to ask for your
Actually, I stay being sure that next time they come, they want to kill me. Because...
So is there anything that's what I'm asking, with the organization that is taking care of you right now, is it something that we are putting into consideration to see how we can keep you safe for as long as this case is running? Because from the conversation, it's evident you're not safe.
Actually, to begin with, SHOFCO deals with girl child, right? So it's a very great favor they're giving me. And actually, they have given me. And it has been, it's from September and all along. What I do personally, mimi in hearing Mtade Mtaro, because this it's so that I'm not stressed. But I can't. I've abandoned Shofko for so long. I'm not saying they are now tired of helping me, but again, their safe houses are for ladies. They have limited resources, you see, and they cannot even manage me at a safer place. So I live knowing anything can happen anywhere.
Do you live by yourself?
Yes.
Up until now?
Yes. And the thing I do is that I keep shifting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that when you trace me from other, I'm in Kakamega, I keep doing that.
Right.
To avoid this, because my perpetrator is untouchable. I would say that.
Yeah. But it's someone that is still there in the church. If you was to go there, you'd find him.
I'm losing memory over time. But this is a very long story.
Yeah.
This year's International Women's Day, right? I was invited by Shofko to their event. While walking from my place to that event, along the way, pale tu huruma, mimi natembea tu sina haraka. Then I hear someone tapping me on the back. To turn, I nearly fainted. It's him.
No way.
This person who every police station knows, even the Vigilant House knows he's on the run. And he tells me, hey, unaendeleaje?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's telling me, ulifika hapa. I told you, wezi bishana na mtu kama mimi. I wanted to shout. The first person I called was these ladies from Shofko, these officers from Shofko. I told them, mimi nakuja huko lakini muona huyu mtu sikuji. Then I called the director, Gender and Community Policy, Gender and Child Protection, the Vigilant House. She's a very good lady. She has been helping me through. Only that she lacks the support. Then she told me, umemwona? Yes. Do you know what my perpetrator told me? Acha kupiga simu. The nearest police station hapa ni Huruma police station, twende. And we went. So while we were at the Huruma police station, Madam Kisinyo, the director, called me and told me, mko wapi? Nikamwambia amenipeleka mpaka Huruma. Then she called the OCS Huruma. The guy was arrested. He was arrested, but the officers from Shofko again came. They helped me. He was transferred to Pangani, right? That International Women's Day. Now I was like, justice is coming. After he has been on the run, beating me every time he's finding me, attacking me on social media with, he's attacking me with messages, telling me, wewe ni kitu kidogo sana, and the likes.
With his personal account or with pseudo account?
That is a message with his number. He's messaging me with his number, and I've given the messages to the police.
But that's enough evidence.
It's more than enough. But again, he told the police officers I did it. He was asking the Oroma police officer, unataka ngapi? Then they wakakuwa wanagombana pale, unaweza nihonga mimi, the likes. So when he was taken to Pangani, police officers from Shofko insisted that he be taken to court, but they said that he would be taken the following day. He was taken to court. Okay, me I was told to wake up to Makadara. He'll come to Makadara. Then while we are at Makadara waiting, the officer who was supposed to be with him comes and says, nimeamua kupeleka kesi Milimani, imemenshoniwa wamekataa. Wanasema siju wende utafute ndugu yake. So how do I look for someone who assaulted me?
So definitely there's a lot that goes on in this story.
There's a lot. And finally he was released on a cash bail of 10,000 at the police station. Only. So you see, he is not someone you can think of touching anyhow.
Now from where you're sitting and everything that you have gone through and keep seeing, what sort of help would you like to get?
I would like to come back to be myself.
How do you think that can happen?
Coming back to be myself means I stop begging. It means I stop sitting and waiting for someone to send me 100 bob. I want to wake up and go. If someone gives me a job today, I'm better to go.
What kind of job would you do?
I don't have any professional skills, so I will not be so choosy. Yeah, anything that anybody can just come in and do. Yes.
And even before we get to a point where you're trying to find you a job, because of course there's so many people who are listening and many people will be compassionate to your story. Are you feeling like you are currently in a mental state? Because even if you get the job and you're not yourself, you're going to fumble the bag. You might have been healing properly because of course you've been getting treatment, but mentally, emotionally, are you good?
I would say I'm not because of this reason. I was actually healing. I was actually going through my psychology sessions at Madare. I'm taking my medication, but something recently happened that threw me back into depression.
What is this?
You see, I'm a very vocal person on social media. Actually, very vocal on matters SGBV since this thing happened. I'm also very vocal in politics. So, when this guy was arrested, the police officer forced my aunt to come and write a report as a witness. And the police officers told my aunt, kijana ako ni shoga, hebu kuja uandike statement alirepiwa huko. Right? So my aunt goes telling every other relative that Wema is a gay and has been arrested. You see, she misunderstood the thing. You know, the police officer gave her wrong information. So when she reached the police station, she could not sasa anda kupigia tena atangambia hapana alidhulumiwa yeye si shoga you see. So today I cannot freely do my things on social media. No. You post and someone tells you lack moral ethics to speak before us, you are gay. You like the people who are near me, they are now like turning away from me. My uncles don't want to see me. They say I'm gay. I'm an outcast. I don't even think I'll go back to the village. I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm back into depression so much.
So we probably, before we start thinking about this job, probably it's proper counseling that you need.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And how is your daughter and your wife doing?
She actually it's another problem. She left me.
Oh, she left you with the kid?
I've been struggling with the kid until her mother came in and told her no, just take the kid with you. This story.
No, we don't have to get deep into it, but
it's just due to this story. She said,
so she left with the kid.
She left with the kid, right?
Oh, they're gone. But you don't know where they are.
I know. I check on them. I check on my daughter. She's well.
Okay. That is a lot for one person to go through. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, welcome.
I can take one thing that there's really no safe space for men to get help.
That is the problem. I think I know I'm going to live, and one time in my life I'll stand to speak for my child. It is terribly bad for us. I've been reading much. You know, I could be married, and in the morning my wife forces me into sex. It will not be called rape. It is her right? But I come back home at afternoon and ask and force my wife into sex. It's rape. So boy child, due to masculinity, is thought to be safe always. No one is speaking about us. No one is speaking for us. If I was a girl, as huge as this case is, I could be in a safe house. Everyone could be speaking about it, you see. But now that Wema is a boy, he can stand for himself. Look at this. Today, you asked earlier what I do and I couldn't even speak rightly. As sick as I am, I go to naenda kugonga mawe. Naenda nigonge ballast. You see, nagonga ballast. Ndo moja unalipwa 7 bob. Ndo ifike, in a day unaweza gonga ndo 3. So how much do I have? 20 bob. And that serves my supper. But if I was a girl, I could be somewhere. So boy child is neglected. No one is thinking about boy child. Don't you think the next generation will be full of ladies and boy child will have killed themselves much? Don't you think the things boy childs are doing, the boy child is doing, is out of depression? See my situation. I can easily, if this Shofko did not come in, right? If people like you are not coming in, I can easily turn into a thief. I snatch people's gadgets. That's why boy child is suffering. But we shall always applaud the police officers when they kill boy child. We don't know the cause.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your story. From the look of things, there's so much that needs to be done. I'm totally in support of the females, but we cannot have a fully functional system if the men are not well taken care of.
True.
So I am appealing to everyone who's watching and everyone who's going to get a read of this interview. If you know of any organization or firm that is very keen on helping the boy child, more than ever, this is the time that you need to give us the leads so that we can give more space for men like Wema to speak up and get help. We cannot have a church with a perpetrator going around telling boys there's nothing they can do. We cannot have a church functioning like that. It's not right. So please, now more than ever, let's get active in sharing organization, contacts, hospitals, anything that can come through for the sake of our men. There are brothers, there are boyfriends, there are cousins, there are uncles, there are sons. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, man. I can't. So please comment, help us get him help. If you have any job, if you know someone who knows someone, men who speak on behalf of other men. Enough conversations about other things that don't matter. Now let us shift the talk. My name is Wala Sangina. This is Jalango TV. Thank you for watching.